Yo, what's happening, people? Back again for another stream. Don't forget to smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In. I'm going to be discussing Man United's 5 summer signings for me that are a necessity to make along with the managerial change. And I think these 5 signings are going to be crucial to where Man United could potentially end up. I'm not going to go into the sales. I think it's quite clear what players need to be moved on. I might touch on that tomorrow. But for me, the 5 signings that I believe Man United need to make this summer, and they're in the key areas that I believe. So I've gone for a centre back, a centre midfield player, which might be a bit of a surprise to some people. I've gone for an attacking midfielder that can also play as a number 10 and can play to the left. I've gone for a right winger, which I think is quite clear who the right winger is going to be, as he's been linked to Man United closely. And I've gone for a striker as well, that I believe in this strikers market, there's not too many strikers out there with the ability of this certain player. He's at a good age as well, and I believe that he's someone that should be definitely be brought in the summer. So I'm going to start off with that striker. For me, Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney's primed for a big move. Hopefully, he's going to the Euros as well to showcase his talent. I think Ivan Toney now is 27 at Brentford. And I think he's the kind of striker for me. Not necessarily someone that I would be looking at previously in the past. But I think with his skill set in terms of his link play, he's strong. He's technical as well off both feet. Obviously, as we know, he's a great penalty taker as well. He can score goals. He's a leader as well. He's English, which will fit obviously with the quota as well. And I think Ivan Toney for me has to be the number 1 target. I think if we look around world football now, and this is why I want an Anthony Martial to stay, because Martial's skill set, there's very few players in world football that offer the same kind of skill set that Martial does. And I think with the amount of players that are coming through now, a lot of the players are more or less wide players, inside forwards. I don't think there's too many target man or number 9 strikers in the game at the moment, and I can't really see in that being as for the foreseeable as well. So for me, Ivan Toney is a must get. Obviously, his contract's running down as well. I think you're probably looking at I think if Man United put in a bid of 60 million, let's say, I think you get Ivan Toney purely because his contract's running down. And I think 60 million should be able to get it over the line. Brentford as well won't be trying to hang on to him in terms of making it difficult for him to leave. Obviously, he's been a good servant for them. Has a good relationship as well with Thomas Frank. So I think Ivan Toney for me will be someone that needs to be snapped up for sure. And coming in as the number 1 striker, I think that's what United need to be looking to. Another player I was going to mention is someone like an Artur Dovbyk from Girona. I think he's mid-20s as well. I think because Højlund's already there as a left-footed striker, and obviously it could be a gamble as well. I think if Højlund wasn't there, then you'd probably say Dovbyk could be a target as well. But for me, number 1 striker for me is Ivan Toney. I'm hoping Ineos and the new manager that comes in, I'm hoping that they can kind of have a talk with Martial to agree a new contract, even if it means Martial reducing his wage. But I think, as I say, the strikers market is very poor at the moment, and it's essential to keep players like Martial. We have to wait in the summer. But yeah, for sure, Ivan Toney for me has to be brought in. Moving on to right wing. Obviously, he's been linked to Man United in the past, and I think this will probably be Man United's first signing. Has a release clause, Michael Olise. For me, Michael Olise is one of the best wingers in the Premier League, playing for Crystal Palace. Has a release clause. I believe it to be about 50 million. Left-footed, very technical, great dribbler, great passer of the ball. And I think he's someone that Man United need to be definitely targeting, you know, in a new overhaul of the squad. I think he's essential as a player that Man United to bring in terms of the kind of football that they possibly want to try and play under a new regime. And he's going to be crucial to that for me. As I said before, I like my left footers that are inverted. Man United got Amad Diallo, and for me, I do think Antony has something to offer. But for me, I'll be trying to move on Antony, whether it's a loan deal or trying to recoup some money back for him, and having Amad and Elise as the two inverted right wingers that are left footed. So yeah, Elise for me is again a definite must bring in. And as well, I think it will help Elise's cause if he plays for Man United to get himself in the French team. No doubt do I believe he should have been in that squad. But I think coming to Man United, you know, bigger profile of a club, he can showcase his talents as well in Europe. I think, yeah, you'll find him in the next squad after the Euros for sure. So that's for me. So Ivan Toney, Michael Elise. Ivan Toney, 27. I believe Michael Elise might be, I want to say Elise is about 22. I think 22, 23. But yeah, so them two definitely coming for me. And the third player is another Crystal Palace player, which for me, I don't understand why there's not been links with Man United already on this player. And that's Eberechi Eze. Fits the quota as well for England. And I strongly believe he'll be part of the squad as well. Whether he starts, I can't see it in the Euros. For me, I will start him. But Man United need to be doing everything in their power to get Eze as well as Elise. I think what Eze has shown as well this season under Oliver Glasner is that he can play from the left as an inverted and can play as a number 10. And I think under a new regime, you know, he'll fit into that easily. I think Eze is like the wild card as well in terms of what he can do. So, you know, he's got individualism about himself. He can dribble past players at ease. He's got a great shot on him. He's strong on the ball. You know, he's got a great pass. His ball manipulation is very good as well. And for me, he's primed to go to the next level, just like Elise. And I think if you can get Elise and Eze in together, they already have that connection at Crystal Palace. And if you bring that to Man United and you play Eze from the number 10 position or on the left if you want to change the formation around, then I think that's ideal for Man United. Obviously, as well, you want to see the likes of Jadon Sancho come back on that left-hand side and create that competition. So for me, yeah, having Eze coming in as well is essential. I would go as far as saying I believe. I mean, in order, I've done Toney, Elise, and Eze, but I'll go as far as saying either one of them three players can be number one as essential signings for me to bring in. So yeah, I think, and between those three players, you're probably looking at about, I'd say, probably about 150 mil. You're probably looking at maximum with those players, I would say. And obviously, if you're saving money on the wages and you're selling some players as well, those three have to be targeted for me. And those three for me will change the dynamic of the front line to go with the likes of a Amad, you know, to go with the likes of a Sancho in that front line. I think they will help to as well be able to keep possession of the ball a lot better as well. And yeah, for sure, Man United have to be targeting those three players. Moving on to centre back, obviously, as we know, Rafael Varane is moving on a free transfer, which, to be fair, is a bit of a joke. Well, it's not a bit of a joke; it's a massive joke, in fact. I know United obviously want to save some wages, but for me, Rafael Varane is a player with massive experience. He's a winner as well, as evidenced yesterday. Come back into the team, played his part in helping United get over the line and winning the FA Cup. And to be honest with you, yeah, it's gonna be annoying that he's going, but obviously it's been confirmed, and then Man United have to get his replacement in. And to be honest with you, you know, I like Lenny Yoro from from Lille, and is Ousmane Diomande from Sporting Lisbon, Antonio Silva from Benfica. You know, there's been talk about Braithwaite. Obviously, Braithwaite's left-footed as well. But I'm going to go for a right-footed centre-back to replace Varane. And obviously, it's a player that's been mentioned plenty of times. And that's Jean-Claire Todibo of Nice, which is obviously has links to Ineos anyway. So for me, I think Todibo's primed to come in to replace Varane. Not in the French national squad for the Euros. And again, just like Elise, I think he would come in with a point to prove and try to stake his claim for getting himself in the next squad for France. For me, obviously, Todibo, I think many people won't actually realize this, but Todibo actually used to play for Barcelona. So when he left, I believe it was Toulouse in France, he went to Barcelona and didn't really play as much, and then obviously moved back to France. I think Todibo's at the right age now to be coming and replace Varane. I believe Todibo must be mid-20s now, so I want to say he's about 25, 26, I think. But I think he's probably primed and ready to come in and take on that mantle of Varane under a new regime. And again, like looking around world football, just like I was trying to figure out a midfield target, looking around world football, I don't think there's too many players that are going to be gettable for Man United in the summer that are going to be of a real quality level. So I think Jean-Claire Todibo for me is someone, I think he might cost not too much money as well. And I think he's someone that needs to be definitely bought in the summer. I think you're probably looking at about no more than 30 million for Todibo, in my opinion. I'm not sure if he's got a release clause, but I think no more than 30 million should be doable to get someone like him in. And again, and another essential piece to bring in. Has pace at the back. He's very composed on the ball. He's very similar to a Varane. I think he's probably better on the ball than Varane. Obviously, Varane has the experience and the know-how and the reading of the game over Todibo. But I think bringing in Todibo will be a smart bit of business. And the fifth player that I've gone for is a central midfielder. Now, this is quite tough because I was thinking of a Douglas Luiz at Aston Villa, but Douglas Luiz will be playing Champions League football next season, so he probably might want to, keep himself with Aston Villa rather than moving to Man United when they're not in Champions League. But I was looking at him as someone that can come in in that midfield for Man United. And then if you look around world football, there's not really players of the level that I feel or that are going to be gettable that can come into this United team. So I've gone for someone that's going to be potentially on a free transfer, but it looks like he might be agreeing to go to another club. I think Aston Villa already, and that's Ross Barkley. I think Ross Barkley is a signing that many people will probably be surprised at, but I think in terms of his experience now, he's 30 years of age, his quality on the ball. Even if he's just a squad option, I think bringing someone like a Barkley on a free transfer will be a smart piece of business. But in terms of central midfielders, in terms of midfielders, there's not really many out there. I mean, you've got João Neves, but João Neves is still young, he's 19 years of age. And he's going to cost, obviously, for his release was about 100 million. And then you look around, you think there's not too many players that are going to be gettable. If I look at Real Madrid, obviously you're not getting no one from there. The same with Barcelona. Obviously, there's links with Frankie de Jong, but will de Jong want to come to United? That's not in Champions League. And obviously all the upheaval that was there a few seasons ago as well. Then you look at Borussia Dortmund. There's no one there, central midfield, that you'll look at and think, yeah. Bayer Leverkusen, obviously I want Florian Wirtz. But Wirtz is more of a number 10. And for me, I think Eze will probably be a better bet, even though I like Wirtz a lot. If you had the money to get both of them, then why not? But that's not going to happen. Then you look at Bayern Munich, Joshua Kimmich. Obviously, Kimmich is, as with German players, very hard to get them out of that league. If Kimmich was available, I'd be all over that. But the thing is, Kimmich, again, is going to want to be playing Champions League football. PSG, got Vitinha, who I like. But again, Vitinha, Champions League football with PSG. Fabian Ruiz, good player. But again, all these players are not likely to come because of Champions League football and because it's going to cost a lot of money as well. So I think Ross Barkley, and I can't think of too many other players in the Premiership that you'd look at apart from Douglas Luiz. You got Amadou Onana. Again, I wouldn't mind Onana, but wouldn't be my first choice. But if you could get him in, then yeah. So yeah, I think we're struggling really. So Ross Barkley for me is probably obviously will be a free transfer as well. So you're looking at Ross Barkley really, and I think that just tells you the current state of football at the moment, that there's not too many midfielders or too many players that are gettable to bring to this squad. So yeah, that's my 5. Ivan Toney from Brentford, Michael Olise from Crystal Palace, Eberechi Eze from Crystal Palace, Jean-Claire Todibo from Nice, and then Ross Barkley obviously was at Luton but on a free. Let me know if you guys have any other targets that you think United should be looking at. Smash that in the chat, smash that in the comments, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel at Gav Goes In, and I'll be back tomorrow for some new news updates on Manchester United. Hopefully, we're one step closer now to moving on the manager. You know, obviously the manager is on holiday now. I just hope Ineos move quick on this because season's finished now, and as I say, it's been a painful watch. But hopefully, Man United can look forward to the summer, get the key signings in that I've mentioned. Even if there's some left field ones, I've got Ederson as well at Atalanta. I wouldn't really want Ederson, but if he's an option, why not? But yeah, if you guys got any other players you wanna put in there, feel free to put it in my comments or in the chat. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another stream. Take it easy.